My name is Rodolfo Cardenas, and I'm all elite. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am wearing an AEW t-shirt, All Elite Wrestling. So, a lot of people, most of you guys have been asking me, Rodolfo, have you ever watched AEW before? If so, do you think they got competition with WWE? Or Rodolfo, who are your favorite AEW wrestlers? Well, my answer to that is yes and no. Why? Because I only watch AEW whenever Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, is programmed on the events. Okay, so as many of you guys know, I like WWE, but the only wrestler who's in AEW who used to be in WWE back then, it was Dean Ambrose, but he came back to his old name named Jon Moxley. And so here are my thoughts on watching AEW for the first time. I thought it was, oh my god, it's like you're going back to it's like I'm going back watching the ECW days where from the 1980s. It's just like all gruesome and violent and oh my god, it was amazing. I actually thought it was pretty good. So from what I've heard, and before I go any more further, whatever I'm about to say later on, this is gonna affect a matter of opinion. So your viewer discretion is advice. This is just for my opinions, and so I could be wrong. So again, viewer discretion is advice. Don't say I warned you. All right. So from what I've heard of my research, that AEW, all the promos that they do in AEW is completely unscripted. So with that being said, the promoters don't tell you to bleed or fix their matches. Let's look what they do in WWE. And Dean Ambrose is one of the biggest wrestlers in the world right now. I remember one time Dean Ambrose in the WWE, he was the WWE champion. But sadly, he could never be the man like he was in WWE. He couldn't be the man over there, but he could have been. But instead, he's the man elsewhere. He's the man of AEW, and recently he won the GCW, the Game Changing Wrestling World Champion. He also won the New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I won't be watching AEW for a long time because Jon Moxley recently got entered a rehab. He's got some issues with alcohol, and he's gonna go ahead and seek help. So I won't be watching AEW. But other than that, so last week, I saw that a small piece of it, and I was just blow my mind. Like, I literally was just like, wow. And here's the other answer to that question. They got some big competition with WWE. From what I've heard is that, again, the promos are unscripted. They're trying to make their fights to make it look like actual fighting, like the ones that you guys see that we all know and love as the UFC, which I'm also a fan of. And so they're trying to go back what wrestling used to be back in the day, in the 20s. In Mexico, the professional wrestling started in the 30s. So they're trying to go back to their roots. It's trying to bring back the real professional wrestling. And so in a way, I kind of I'm kind of a little bit of a scale for it when they when they said that we were gonna do with the company, and then because I don't, the more people say that wrestling is this and that, people are not gonna fall for it for some reason. B, they're just gonna say, "Oh, this is just the WWE. This is just like the WWE. This is all scripted. People, the people know what's coming. People is gonna know what's coming." But it's okay. So their main priority right now is to remove WWE off the map, because here's the thing: professional wrestling was a show that was designed that looked like two men competing one another, that they had an actual grudge, and then they were going to settle a dispute, which looked very similar to MMA, to mixed martial arts. So now when you watch the WWE, nowadays you're going to see two grown men cooperating. See what I'm saying? Cooperation, it means you're helping each other out. They're gonna look like two men. You're gonna look like they're fighting, but when they're actually cooperating, they're trying to make money with their bodies in a weird way. But AEW has been doing a lot of things. I'm sure that they're gonna try their best to remove WWE off the map, which I think good luck for that. Actually, good luck on that, because a lot of people don't like AEW, and other people, they do love the AEW. So I'm in the middle, in between. It's like I like WWE, but I like AEW. But which one I like more? WWE. Why? Because I've been watching WWE since I was 13 years old. So I just started my 8th grade semester in middle school, and AEW, I've been watching it since last week. See what I'm saying? Last week. So, and now that I heard that CM Punk, the newest wrestler, just joined AEW. There's a lot of few wrestlers who used to be in WWE that they went back to AEW. Big Show is in over there. Ruby Riott, Jack Swagger, Dean Ambrose. I just saw it. Chris Jericho. Who else is in? And oh yeah, and then now the newest member, CM Punk, which the only wrestler who got me watching WWE in the first place. But at this point, you guys, I feel like I should watch AEW, guys, because if CM Punk got my attention on watching WWE and the UFC, because he was going to fight in the UFC, which he did twice. I will be talking about that in a different video. And so yeah, hopefully I like it. Hopefully I like AEW more than WWE. And now the last question that you guys still remaining, Rodolfo, will you ever get an AEW championship belt like the one that you have in WWE? Who knows? I might consider it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I like wrestling. And I actually have this, along with the other t-shirt that I have. I'm showing you guys right now. Okay, and this is the other shirt from Jon Moxley. This says Unscripted Violence. As you can see, this says right here, Unscripted Violence. And then over here, he's got Dean Ambrose's last name. You got Moxley right here. Over here, it says Mox. I will be getting, I've been wanting to get another Jon Moxley t-shirt. But the one that he was AEW World Champion at that time. Hopefully, it's still available on ProWrestlingTees.com. And also, I will be considering getting an AEW World Championship replica belt. And but for right now, since what I heard that Jon Moxley just released a book, which I'm looking forward to see it if I ran into it. So yeah, this is pretty much it, you guys. Smash the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications on, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, hey!